Going on, dudes and dudettes? So yes, USC football got some encouraging news from one of their players that opted out. Vera-tucker, the offensive lineman, who's considered their best offensive lineman, has decided to come back and return to the team, which is great. But we did also find out that J2 the top defensive tackle for them, has decided to still stay in the NFL draft process, which I understand just because I know one of his family members is dealing with COVID and I'm pretty sure bills are piling up, so it's just best for him to stay with an agent, get some money now, and I understand. So good luck to him, and hopefully he gets drafted to a good team where he can flourish and show what he can do. And then it showed where the Chargers would be ranked right now with their record and according to the NFL draft next year. And of course, they've only won one game, and they're still picking ninth, which I don't understand at all, because you're supposed to reward the crappier teams, and somehow, I guess, out of all the 1-3, 1 and whatever teams, they would be considered ninth, which I just don't understand. But as usual, the Chargers would finish in the middle of the pack, even if they have less wins, which is retarded in my opinion. But then a little bit of, they've been saying that they're projecting USC to win their Pac-12 South Division, which is really cool. Like I said, I just think they need to worry about that Arizona State game in the first game, and then on the road at Utah as well. But other than that, they should be able to beat everyone on their schedule, including UCLA. And then hopefully they'll make it to the Pac-12 championship. But they did project Oregon to win that game. But I just think USC would have a chance against Oregon just because USC will be healthier by then. But also, Oregon has lost a lot of guys who opted out for the NFL draft anyways, even recently when they knew that there's going to be a season. A lot of their top guys are still opting out. So it's good for USC. Positive news for USC. Hopefully they can take advantage of it. But you never know. And then the other day, LeBron James was on his first Wheaties box, which I can't really believe because one of the top athletes the past 15 plus years has never been on a Wheaties box. I don't understand that, but yeah, it's cool. It had his I Promise school on there as well on the back, so congrats to him. Speaking of LeBron James and the Lakers, yes, they were able to take full control of this series, winning Game 4. So now they're up 3-1. Was a pretty tight game, going back and forth all the way, and then of course the Lakers made the correct plays. LeBron ended up with 28, 12 rebounds and 8 assists. He was pretty close to another triple-double. And then Anthony Davis hit a clutch 3 towards the end to kind of seal it and give him the dagger. It's really good. AD still had a suspect game in my opinion, even though he wasn't in foul trouble. There were just some times where he was giving up shots and not doing stuff, but his defense was great throughout the game, but even towards the end of the game as well, making a couple blocks on Jimmy Butler towards the end, which was great. So it's what he needs to do if his offense isn't going. But yeah, definitely glad they were able to get to W. Usually they would be playing every 2 days, but for some reason I guess they just wanted to be on Friday so more people could watch and they get more money in case the Lakers do end up getting the gentleman's sweep. So what we're hoping for, Lakers haven't won in a long time. It's been a while. I think they definitely deserve it. Put in a lot of hard work, especially with the type of team. I mean, it will go down as one of the weirdest teams to win a championship, especially when most of the guys have never even played together. I mean, it's pretty crazy how they've been doing it, but 2020 is weird. The bubble is weird. That's why I even think the Heat were able to make it that far, just because they pretty much made a couple of trades with a bunch of new guys, and they showed what they could do with the type of talent they have. So we'll see what happens. I did say this might go 6 games. I hope it doesn't, just so we can get it over with. I'm just tired of waiting. But yeah, hopefully it's a victory for the Lakers tomorrow. And yeah, well, let's just keep going. So there you are. So yes, the Anaheim Ducks, hopefully she doesn't start, going off, but yes, the last couple days the Anaheim Ducks did their NFL draft. They did have 2 picks in the first round. They were missing a 7th round pick because I guess they had traded that away at some point, but they did trade back in and ended up getting one for a future round pick that they're giving up in the 7th round. So they were able to get about 7 or 8 guys right here. And of course, like, I had to write it in like such very thin, like, highlighting pen. So please forgive me if I take a while, but yeah, it's the only pen I could find in this house, of course. But round 1 at pick number 6, they went with Jamie Drysdale. He is a defensive player, and he's considered one of the top defensive players, and then the top 3 overall player, which is kind of weird why he fell, but I guess the other teams didn't need a defensive player, but obviously the Ducks do. So definitely glad they were able to seal up a guy like that, especially early, because later in the first round they went with Jacob Peralt. I hope I'm saying that correct. He was a right winger, so definitely looks like in this draft they went with defense and wing players. I guess they think their centers are stacked up so far, but yeah, we'll see what else they got. So the second round, they ended up getting Sam Colangelo. He is another right winger as well. So I guess it's definitely a position they need, or they think they're going to end up losing at some point soon. Round 3, they went with Ian Moore, another defensive player. So you think, consider picking a player in the top 3 or 4 rounds, they can still contribute to your team. So I guess he could be a good player. Then round 4, they went with Thimo Nickel as another defensive player. I don't know how good this guy is, but he has a great hockey name, so I hope he makes the team, because it's a great hockey name, Thimo Nickel. It's probably one of my favorite players if he does end up making the team. Round 5, this is a hard one. They went with Artyom Galimov, and he's actually a left winger. So like I said, they went with more wingers and another left winger as well right here. And then round 6, they went with Albin Sundsvik. Hope I'm saying that right. He is a center, so they finally went with another position, center. I'm assuming since they didn't get a goalie, they are either going to re-sign John Gibson at some point, maybe, or they're going to end up getting someone else in free agency. But yes, because with round 7, they went back in and traded back in. They did get Ethan Bowen, another center. So yeah, we'll see what their goalie situation looks like going into the future. Obviously, they didn't see anyone they liked. But yeah, there's your new Anaheim Ducks for 2020. Hopefully, most of these guys make it and are making impact as well. Especially you, Thimo Nickel. Hopefully you make it, buddy. And to finish off this video, I did forget to mention that the Lakers are going to wear their Mamba-inspired jerseys tomorrow for our Friday's game. Obviously, it's a big thing because it not only represents Kobe and Gianna, but they also have not lost in those jerseys. So that's why I'm hoping that it's another win, because like they've said before, they're not able to lose in those jerseys as well. So, and I think I forgot to put up there too that LeBron James said he wasn't going to be able to sleep unless the Lakers won a championship. So obviously it's more about his history in the NBA more than winning a championship for the Lakers itself. But as long as he has that mindset, I'm fine with it, because the Lakers benefit in the long run. So hopefully things go good tomorrow, but we'll have to wait and see, of course. And then a little bit of miscellaneous news. So obviously a guy I haven't followed my entire life, just within like the last 5+ years or so. Howard Stern apparently it's apparent, but I don't think it's 100% true, that he could be signing a new deal at the end of this year where it would make him like average $120 million a year for just a radio show host, which is pretty insane. I mean, his last contract, he was making like 80 to 100 million a year anyways, but to give him more money while he's going into the end of his career just insane to me. I think his show is still okay, even if the stuff is from home right now as well. He still gets a lot of the top people to interview and everything like that. I don't mind like the crazy, stupid stuff he used to do. That stuff was funny. It's just in the past, but now it's like kind of just whatever type of show. But yeah, congrats to him. Hopefully it comes true. He said it's not 100% true, so don't believe everything, but I'm pretty sure he is probably looking to re-sign. Usually he always says he's going to quit, but then he ends up re-signing to a 3 to 5 year deal, so we'll wait and see about that later in the year. And then Tom DeLonge is officially going to be directing this movie, Monsters of California. It definitely seems like an independent film, because if your main star is a guy named Richard Kind, who's more known for, I think it said he's known for Mad About You and being on Curb Your Enthusiasm, which is, I think he's the cousin to Larry David, but it's a pretty known guy, character actor-ish, or a guy who pops in that you automatically know him. I even remember him on an episode of Even Stevens, a Disney Channel show a long time ago. So yeah, he's a pretty funny guy, but I'm pretty sure it's independent if he's your main actor. And they even got Casper Van Dien. That's a name from the 90s you probably never hear as much, but yeah, he's obviously the star of Starship Troopers. Yeah, Starship Troopers. And yeah, and all that sci-fi stuff. So I guess it's a movie based about these young kids who end up trying to figure out some weird like UFO type of stuff down in Southern California, and it ends up being something referred back to the government or some stuff like that. I don't know, it seems like the idea, I don't know if I'm just mixing stories up or if it's just like the same idea I thought his TV show was about like a young group of kids who end up discovering paranormal stuff, which is already being done by TBS, but this film, I guess, is gonna has their producers and everything like that, and he's gonna do the music and the score for it as well. So it's pretty cool, very interesting. Hopefully it does actually end up coming out, but they did say production is underway, so at least that's a positive thing during this COVID stuff. So thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day.